Everybody, it's Pandy and I'm playing World of Tanks. Just want to go ahead and start this video out by saying rest in peace, homie, Type 59. I loved you and hopefully people will be able to buy up before January 16th. There's a lot of hate about it and I can understand it. It needs fixing, but removal of this tank from the whole freaking game is just, oh, not a good sign. Not a good sign for the store. At least I get to keep my Type 59, but any new players that are coming about or anyone that was planning on buying it in the near future cannot buy it unless they buy it in the next 3 days. So just heads up to everyone out there, get it while you can.
In Soviet China, the Type 59 hates you.
So let's go ahead and carry on with this little video about the AMX 5100 within World of Tanks. Now at the time, the French army possessed no modern tanks with heavy arms after the liberation of Paris. This new provisional government of France was trying to do its utmost by regaining the country's former position as a great power by establishing itself as a full partner with the Allies by contributing as much as they can into the war effort. One of the major efforts to achieve this was to restart tank development and production as quickly as possible. The result of all this became the ARL-44, which is pretty much a mutated Char B-1 with a monster turret and a little bit of sloped armor. The ARL-44 was armed with a powerful 90mm main gun, but it can be hardly ever called a modern tank. The same year, the AMX company basically started its design on a more satisfactory vehicle in March of 1945. It was called the Project 141. This project actually became the M4 prototype, which resembled a lot like a King Tiger in general form. The turret itself was more welded sections that looked more like a Soviet turret than a Western design, and it was also armed with a 90mm main gun. 2 prototypes of the M4 were ordered, and soon afterwards, once the Army received them, they indicated that they needed better protection. The protection on the M4 prototypes were unacceptable. The response to the request was increased armor. Obviously, that's what the Army wanted, and that's what the Army is gonna get. And to actually help save weight because of these installed plates of armor or increases, pretty much a new turret was designed by FAMH. I don't even know how to say that, but it's an oscillating turret, and I don't know if I said that right, but the idea behind these turrets is simply to give it a lower profile, make use of an auto loader which you use to load magazines with, and you go from there. First prototype of this improved M4, which is now being called an AMX-50, was armed with a 90mm main gun in 1949. The second prototype was actually upgunned from a 90 to a 100mm main gun, and the second prototype had a slightly different turret due to its 100mm main gun, but it was basically the same in regards to operation. The machine was intended to fit a 1200 horsepower engine to obtain speeds much superior than existing medium tanks. 2 engines were used, the German and French designs, and both failed to deliver the required output for a maximum top speed of 51 kilometers an hour. This prototype was tested in 1950 and 1952. Where does the AMX 5100 fit on all this, Pandy? I'm going to tell you where it fits. It's actually the second prototype, fitting in between the M4, which was the first prototype, and the production AMX, which was armed with a 120mm main gun, which is the Tier 9 in World of Tanks. I'll get into the details for the AMX 50, which is in World of Tanks, the AMX 5120, when I get around to doing that Tier 9 heavy. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk about the AMX 5100 within World of Tanks, which is one of the more refreshing new tanks I've actually played. I do remember when I first got into the T-28 when the American tank destroyers came out, and I went, it's another TD. I don't get that feeling with this tank purely because of the firepower autoloader and the mobility. And just, it's refreshing. Now the firepower in the AMX 100 is simply epic. As the video is going on and on and on, and you guys are watching me fuck shit up, you guys notice the level of epic. And when I mean epic, I mean probably like epic mealtime epicness, because they are related to food. And this is related to tanks, and in tanks, this is epic. I don't know if that made any sense, but it's just that epic because I'm not making sense. That's how epic it is. I can't describe it in words in a way that you guys can understand. You guys just have to get one and just experience it because it's that just, oh. Now let's get back on subject in regards to firepower. It does have trouble against frontals of the IS-7s, E-100s, and other tanks with large amounts of frontal armor. The gun is very fun in making people like scream uncle because if they ever poke out and they make a mistake, you're going to put 6 rounds into them and kill them into a fucking death site. IS-3 with full health is going to be dead in a matter of 14 seconds as long as you put all 6 rounds into him, don't pin one, and kill his ass. Now, on this gun, a gun laying drive and a stabilizer is simply required to make this gun a sniping platform. Some of y'all might be interested in getting into the ventilation just to speed a little bit of everything up. Reload rate, aiming time, driving, a little bit of everything. View range, of course. You always gotta have that because you gotta avoid people. I actually don't mind the reloading on the magazines, in all honesty. It's annoying, yes, but hey, no. I'll talk about the reloading in the review. It's not really all that bad, to be honest. Now, the armor on the AMX 5100 is complete shit. Now, the mobility on the AMX 5100 by far the best of any of the tier 8 heavy tanks out there. You can simply outrun a Type 59 and keep up with the T-54 and Pattons. The E-50 might have a chance in outrunning you if they get a head start, but overall, it moves like a medium tank like I predicted in my previous videos, but it punches like a heavy tank, and it's just, crazy. It's even crazier when it's on the other side of the tech tree with the tier 7 light tank with that 90mm, the 1390, but when it comes to the heavy line AMX 5100, it is like a medium tank with legs that can actually punch like a heavy tank. It's just, it's weird. It's a rather fun tank just to be cruising around, and I do appreciate the mobility that it does offer. Now, overall, the AMX 5100 is an outstanding support role tank. This has been the only tank in the longest time that I can actually remember that I can sit down and play over and over and over, not get bored. It's that entertaining, and you guys might already know I've been playing World of Tanks for a long time. It's gotten to the point where I do my doubles, record footage, post it up, talk about the tank, history, etc, etc, etc. This is the first time I've actually felt energized about any tank. I kind of felt it a little bit with the T95, not so much with any other tanks. The French tank 5100, I just feel energized, like, I'm excited to play it. I log in, the first tank I play is the French tank. If you can get past the reloading of the magazines and lack of armor, and overall firepower and the mobility will win you over, especially if you're a medium driver biased motherfucker like me. Just on a side note, I was going to talk about the reload stuff and the overall, and I'm going to do that. Just keep in mind when reloading the magazines on this 100mm main gun, just keep in mind you are simply defenseless. Now, I've employed tactics and I've gotten creative where the enemy was counting my shots. A lot of people are counting shots now, so I played that into my tactic. I had a fellow T-54 with me, and I've already fired a total of 4 rounds. I forced a reload at that moment and kept pretending that I was going to go after this enemy Patton, which was less than 15 meters away. Now, with that 46-second reload rate with this gun, and I had to play chicken with this guy. Did not have a round in the tube. I did not even have 2 rounds in the tube, which this Patton thought. But as soon as I loaded up 6 rounds, I fired 2 more rounds at other tanks, other targets, and the Patton, lo and behold, comes after me thinking I'm all out. I had 4 more rounds in the tube ready for him, and he was already at half health, so I pretty much wasted his ass because I played a mind trick on him. So this gun does require creativity, and if you can risk it all and try to figure a way out to trick people or find cover if you're not able to. I mean, it doesn't work every time because I've tried it previous to other tanks and they're just fucking smart. They don't give a damn. There's some people that just, like me in heavy tanks, don't care if I get hit. I'm just going to push. And pushing gets me killed. At least I take 2 or 3 motherfuckers with me, get everyone to focus on me, and hopefully I bounce some rounds and get my teammates a little more time, 5, 6 extra shots on their behalf to win the game in the long run. So it just really depends who you play against. It is a really fun tank, so hopefully you guys get a chance to try it. If the tank is highly recommended, I would highly recommend it to anyone out there who is wanting to try an autoloader. The tier 8 heavy tank, or medium tank in my opinion, is a really, really good spot to sit in. I plan on keeping it for the long haul. Now I get to that part of the video where I get to give some World of Tanks gold away. I'll be giving away 3,000 gold for the North American server or 2,500 gold for the European Union server on January 20th. To win said gold, you must be A, be subscribed to my channel, and B, post a comment down below maybe about the video question, which is, what is the most difficult part or parts in the French tech tree? Me, I'm a class A bitch who converted a lot of experience and got my tier 8 and tier 7 French tanks right away, so I don't know. Love to hear what you guys found out. I just been hearing a lot of bad stuff about some of the tier 5 and the B1 and all those tanks, but I want to hear what you guys think. Let me know. Now that is everything that I have for you guys right now. If you guys have any questions, please visit the World of Tanks forums. Go to the fan art, find my thread up in there, throw a question down. I will try to answer it. I'll try to respond. I will respond. I won't try. I will do it. So just keep me in mind if you want any questions. Go visit the forums. So you guys take it easy. I am Pandy, and good hunting. Fuck you, Gumby!